exclusively about yourself. It's a mindset and a choice. How do you explain siblings brought up exactly the same way with completely opposite results and quality of life? Mindset. How do you explain people who break free from poverty? People who refuse to accept limitations placed on them by their immediate environment? Mindset. The circumstances of your life do not define you. The people you don't choose to grow up with do not define you. You have the power. No matter what has happened to you or will happen to you in the future, no one can take away the freedom of your mind. You have the power. Setbacks and failures in life can make you bitter or they can make you better. You choose if you will lose because of it or learn from it. Choose to learn from it. You choose if you will suffer because of it or grow stronger because of it. Choose to grow stronger from it. Whatever you're going through, use it. Don't waste it. Use it. Learn from it. Grow from it. Set an example because of it.
I don't understand.
Just leaving you a pleasant good evening here on allflavorsradio.com. How are you all doing out there? How are you all doing? And yes, it was an absolutely beautiful day. I am Wimbo77.
And I am Naturally Lily. Good evening, everybody.
Yes, how are you doing? How are you doing, Lily?
I'm doing all right.
You're just coming in. She's just coming in from work, so it's been a mad rush. The time really does creep up on you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
I find it really, really creeps up on you, and it's not even funny. It's not funny how it goes that way, but we have a lot in store tonight. We are talking reparations. We are talking anxiety. We are talking, so let's talk, okay? What would you say to that, Dan?
I would say get over it.
Yay! No, you can't say that.
No, I would say today is March the 9th.
Yep.
Show number 32.
Yes.
And it is National Get Over It Day.
National Get Over It Day. I love that. When I was like just doing some research for the show, and I said, "What's the national day today?" Because it was National Women's Day yesterday.
Yes,
so
it was.
hollering all the beautiful women, the mothers, the grandmothers, the nieces, the nephews, the granddaughters, the aunties. Anything else? Have I missed anything else?
The sisters, the daughters.
Sisters, right? So all the women out there, bigging up and really giving you a high five, because we know that you are working very hard in whatever you're doing and making it happen.
Yes.
Right?
Definitely.
However, fast forwarding to today, looking up National Get Over It Day, and I thought, wow, it's amazing.
It is. I mean, it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
And it was originally started by a gentleman called Jeff Goldblatt in 2005 because he was having trouble getting over an ex-girlfriend. So it's like one day he said to him, do you know what? I just need to get over it.
Get over it.
And that is where Get Over It Day has how it's come about. So each year on the 9th of March, people across the country observe National Get Over It Day. And it is basically just get over the spilled milk, get over the small things, the big things, the family feuds.
Yeah, everything.
Get over it.
That's right. And make your burden lighter.
Yeah.
Because when we get over things, meaning we forget it and move on, that leaves us nice and open to just be free and easy.
Yeah.
And just get over it.
Get over it.
Isn't it? So National Get Over It Day today on March the 9th, 2021. Also in history, Lily, it's like, not forgetting, it will be Mother's Day on Sunday. Yeah. Although, like we always say in the studio,
we need more than a day.
Every day is Mother's Day. Every day is Mother's Day. So hollering you out, Mum. I think you're in the chat room, aren't you? Beautiful. Yes, Joy McKay is there. Also hollering out Gal, John Ken, Mark Philogene, and everyone around the world, everyone on TuneIn, and everyone on WhatsApp. So, Lily, today in history, we lost an amazing woman, but she was so amazing that I thought that we'd spend a little time with her.
Is that Araminta Ross?
Araminta Ross.
I wonder how many people know who that is.
We're going to give you what we're going to do. All right, guys, because there's a competition today as well.
Oh, lovely.
Because we have the wonderful Black Lotus coming in and doing a little stint with us.
Nice.
And they've given us 2 of their EPs to give away.
Ooh.
2 EPs of Black Lotus to give away tonight.
Lovely.
So we're talking about Araminta Ross. She was born, it is a woman, born in 1822. And, it says she passed actually on March the 10th. So
it's tomorrow.
Yeah, it says that March the 9th she was born. Oh, wow.
So she died exactly to the day.
After she was born.
Almost 91. She was 91.
Amazing. So this woman, she was an abolitionist. I can never say this word. I can never say this word. Abolitionist.
Yes.
And a political activist. Okay? Araminta Rose. She had another couple of names, Minty and Moses, as well. Mm-hmm. Okay? And her occupations, she was a civil war scout, a spy, a nurse, a suffragettist, and a civil rights activist. Okay, so we're going to I think we'll give out little clues as we're going along.
Yeah, I think we should drop a few diamantes on the way.
Yes, a few diamantes along the way. And she was known for...
Don't give out the biggest clue, though.
I won't give out the biggest clue.
I can see that happening.
I am going to leave it right there. Okay, but she's one of the most recognised icons in American history, and her legacy has inspired countless people from every race and background. Mm-hmm. And her desire was for justice and that became apparent when she was 12 years old.
Wow.
Amazing, isn't it? When she saw an overseer beating down, he was about to throw a weight on top of another person's head, and she interceded,
and it hit her
on the head, and they said they broke her skull, basically. So from 12 years of age, she wanted a desire for justice, because there wasn't much justice at her time. At 12, that means if she was born in 1822, 12 years after, that would have been 1934. 1834. Sorry, guys. 1834. At 12 years old, she had that hunger grew inside of her to say, do you know what? This isn't right, and I want to see justice. And that was apparent at such a young age. How amazing.
That is amazing. And she went on to do amazing things.
She really did.
Our learners, I say that so much in a day, as our listeners will find out as the day goes on.
Yes. So keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on these little gems that we're going to be passing your way, because there are 2 EPs up for grabs, Black Lotus EPs, and I think their EPs due out on the 14th Sunday as well, Mother's Day. So we're going to have the guys, one's in on phone in and one's in the studio.
Lovely.
Which is amazing. So we're going to speak to them later, and we will divulge a few more little clues so that you can be up for a chance to win those. They're actually really great. I'm holding one here. They're like little USBs. Mm-hmm. And this one's a piano.
Oh, amazing.
So cute. And it's got the EP on it. So
amazing.
That's a lovely giveaway. Really nice giveaway. Black Lotus, Rise of the Lotus is the EP.
Come on, guys. Be the first to say, I had the first EP by Black Lotus.
And they may be worth a hot amount in the future.
They will be.
All right. So six strategies of this amazing woman that we're speaking about. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going to give you the 6 strategies, and then you can kind of work it out for yourself. So remember, she was a suffragette. Anything else there, Lily? Do you remember?
She was a suffragette, a spy, a nurse, an activist, and a Civil War scout.
Excellent. So she was those things, as well as what she used. She's used to get help, timing, disguises and hiding, codes and secret pathways, buying freedom and fighting. All these things have to do with the woman that we are speaking about tonight, okay? She was born today in 1822, was it, Lily?
Well, it's disputed. They say 1822 or 1821, so around that time.
Yeah. However, just listen out for some more clues later and we'll keep you up with that. So the question that we are asking the audience is, if we get reparations, what will we do with the money?
That's an interesting question.
And we're going to go on and see the reasons as to why we're talking about reparations today, because something has come up and this is amazing. Let's hope that they follow through with it, all right? Because it says history, this is breaking news as well, that history has been made as Bristol passes slavery reparations motion. I mean, how does that make you feel? We've always spoken about reparations, right? And
we have. I just don't know what it means for us. Like, I feel like it's the beginning of a conversation, but how long is this conversation going to last?
Well, I mean, they're speaking about it now. At least it's now gone it's gone in front of the Bristol Council, so they are going to be. They've acknowledged it because they've not acknowledged it for a long time. However, now they're calling for Parliament and an inquiry on slavery reparations, and this is because we know Bristol was one of the main ports for importing of slaves, and they're now taking, I guess, with that responsibility and recognising and seeing the need for giving out reparations. So they've called out to Parliament and have made an inquiry on the part of slavery reparations. Okay, so the motion's been approved. Yeah? Yeah. So that's amazing.
I think it's interesting as well. This comes quite close to the Black Lives Matter movement, 8 months after the Black Lives Matter movement. And one of the things that they did was get rid of that statue of Edward Colston.
Yeah.
And that happened in Bristol, didn't it? So there's obviously been enough action for people to react in that sense. But I just feel like, and I do see, they said, obviously, it's not about the money. It goes beyond the monetary compensation. It's about recognition. So I guess this is the first stage of recognition, being held accountable for the fact that this country basically thrived up until, what was it, 2015?
Recent, yeah.
We were still paying into, you know, giving them back the money that they lost through abolishing slavery. So I think it's good.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see how far it goes, to be fair, but...
Yeah, they said that if this lady, Cleo Lake, who proposed the motion, I'd like to know who she is. She's a member of the Green Party. She said if it is of international significance that this cross-party motion has passed and history is made, Bristol is now the first core city in the UK to give our support to growing campaigns for reparations. I think that's really good. It's sounding promising, isn't it? Sounding promising.
I don't know. I feel like whenever this is going to sound so... I don't know, ungrateful. I feel like whenever things like this come up, there's something else behind it. Do you know what I mean? I feel like there's always an ulterior motive. Why are they... But then I guess this isn't publicly known. This is through research that you found this. So maybe no, it's not an ulterior motive. I do think it's very significant that they're the first core city to take this further, to make this campaign important.
Yeah.
Because like it says, the merchants grew rich through African enslavement, and this legacy still lives with us, and it really does.
And we see the haves and the have-nots. We see the ones that have benefited, and still us paying into a system that we were building up. We were paying for the debt. Like, and, you know. And
that being said, I don't know how many of the listeners actually know this, but they had to, when slavery was abolished, I can't remember the year,
but
but it took 140 years to pay off the debt, which was paid off in 2015. So our taxpayers' money, those descendants of slaves that were freed, we were paying into that system.
I think that's just like, it's rude.
Oh,
it's an insult.
It's an
really.
insult.
It's a big insult.
It is an insult.
But what Bristol Council have said, they've agreed that more local initiatives are there to help communities still suffering from systematic poverty.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that still, we spoke a few weeks ago about the jails, the prison system and the Jim Crow system, and how that still is affecting people in the United States of America.
Yeah.
However, if they do, like the question that we did pose about if we get reparations, what will we do with the money? Then, yeah, it definitely has to go right back into supporting the community.
Yeah, and it's not obviously going to go into our pockets, but it needs to go into places like our schooling system. Our schooling system at the moment, I think, it doesn't take into consideration the have-nots, and I really hate referring to them as this, but those of us that, well, not us, but those people that live in those deprived areas tend to be of the background of, that are most probably of descendants from the Africans that were brought to this country or have emigrated to this country. So they're still part of that demographic, and it's our schools that tend to be the ones that are disadvantaged, don't have the best equipment, don't even have the best educators, can't provide, certain services that may be available to
people that aren't in the inner cities.
Yeah.
Where a lot of black folk live.
Yeah.
In the inner city, and then we get just substandard of everything, isn't it?
Because I've personally been looking into tutoring, and being someone that was able to get tutoring when I was younger, I see the benefits and the positive outcome of it. But how many of the children that went to school with me had that available to them? Not a lot. And looking into the prices of tutoring, it's not going to be something that's affordable for parents that are, we spoke about, having 2-parent household working, that can't afford the extras. That's an extra that parents can't afford, but yet the schools are closed, children are falling behind. How do our youth catch up?
And especially now after a year of kind of on and off schooling as well. So I guess reparations would definitely go in handy with that. Hortense, hi Hortense, how are you doing? A listener has said we'll help build our communities, support for mental health awareness, that's PMS syndrome, create financial support, help build strong foundations for absent fathers and child, create policing security society, create our own law. I'm not sure about creating our own law there, Hortense. What do you mean as regards to creating our own law? Those other things, definitely, totally agree with you. And really, like we said, building up the community and mental health awareness, that definitely, because again, that's something that our community suffers with quite highly. So as well as, building strong foundations for absent fathers and child. Wow, what's absent fathers and child? Have we spoken on that subject?
Kind of. I think in the sense of the stereotype that the media portrays.
Okay.
Obviously we know there are absent fathers out there, but we've spoken about it in the sense of, what about those supposed absent fathers that want to have a relationship with their children and the mothers are just not allowing it? So we've covered it in that sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like of recent years,
would reparations help with that, do you think?
No, I don't think it will. I think that's
a deeper problem, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a different issue. That's more of a mentality issue, if that makes sense. It's more about changing the psychology, changing the behaviours, changing the attitudes towards the family unit.
Because that's something I've learned. It's not the person, but it's the behaviour.
Yeah.
And it's the way that, yes, we can say, oh, I was brought up without parents, so we could give all the excuses in the world as to the things that we do. But there has to come a point when we do take that responsibility back, and we can't play that kind of blame game in that sense. So it's the behaviour of a person. It's not the person, but the things that we do.
Because my argument to that would be, then you wasn't brought up with two parents, but what about those men out there that was brought up by their mum and have managed to have very fulfilling family lives?
Very true. Very true.
What's the difference between you and them? That would be my argument.
Yeah. Well, this lady, she's highlighted as well, this, what's her name again? Lake. We call her Lake. That we don't have the answers as to exactly what reparations should look like. That's why we are calling for a process of repair, which hears from many of the voices of our communities. And there's something else that we're going to be speaking about later that really does need our voice, okay, as not just a community, as a society, because it's something that affects all of us. And this too is something that will affect us when it comes to reparations, because it's going to affect our community and it can make our communities better. However, Nyambi highlights there that when we ask that question, if we get reparations, what will we do with the money? She says, hand it right back to them. We're idiots.
It's true. Oh, that's not... I shouldn't laugh, but it's true.
Yeah, so how will we hand it back to them? That's the point. How will we hand it back to them?
I think it was Robert Kiyosaki that said, if you give a poor person £10,000, the poor person will still be poor.
Yeah.
Because it's not about the fact that you've given them that £10,000. It's the mentality behind why are you poor in the first place. And a lot of people are going to most probably chat back at me for saying this. But it's the mentality behind why are you poor in the first place? What have you done about getting yourself out of that situation? You hear about millionaires. Someone won the lottery, won millions of pounds. And then a couple of years later, he's poor again, because it's the mentality. You can't just hand someone something on the plate and expect them to do something with it that they haven't done already.
And that's very true, because it's all about the mindset of, because that's something I've heard too. If we keep talking on poor things, and we will remain in that that mindset. Whereas if we elevate ourselves out of it, then no, it's not going to affect us in that way, So at the end of the day, very true. And Nyambi would like to know kind of how is that just we give it back to them in the sense of just spending aimlessly, because this again, there's a lot of cultural or Caribbean, what are they called, like the West Indian Centre. I can't remember the guys that were a part of that, but that's gone down during COVID, when now was a time that we really could have done with their help. ALC,
but I feel like that's that. What is in the community centres?
Yeah,
they
the
can't
people
be open
behind
though,
it.
can they?
Yeah, but we can go and do community work. So it could have been used in that sense, funding being given and used in the right way. Because sometimes when we are given funds, we do misuse them. This is, as a community, we misuse funds that are given out. I've seen it with my own eyes. Yeah. So it's a matter of getting those reparations in and really having something set that's so solid that will work to build up the black community.
Yeah.
What do you think? We'll see you in 5.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in 5.
Have your phone in on FLAVAS RADIO. The more you listen, the more great music you hear.
Hi, I am Wimbo, and this is
Naturally Lily. Join us every Tuesday evening between 6 and 8 for the Drive Time Radio Show,
where we talk about things that are for us, by us, on current events and matters of the heart. All FLAVASRadio.com.
See you in the chat room.
We've got another great song coming up in minutes. Don't go anywhere.
I've been in the hospital since I was 2 with sickle cell, but the ones I can remember clearly is like 6, 7, and up. Sometimes my blood would clot and it'll make like pain in my joints and sometimes hard to breathe, hard to move. It's just pain that you can never see.
It's a constant fear with my 2 sons who are still here that at any time they could actually succumb to this disease. It still kills people.
When I'm in the hospital and I don't have blood because my blood is sickling, I just feel miserable. I don't want to move. I like curl up in a ball. And that's how a sickle cell crisis feels to me. It feels like something was broke inside my body. The only thing that can fix it is blood.
We need as many people who can to donate blood, because that's the only thing that helps a person with sickle cell in a pain crisis.
Blood transfusions, they make such a difference. The blood is really what gets me to calm down and get back to normal.
So it's definitely important that the Black community, African American community, that we do come out and answer the call, because we the ones who need this. We're the ones who suffer from sickle cell the most.
It's a gift, honestly. Blood is a gift.
Online and on your smart speaker.
All FLAVAS Radio.
Playing all the best songs.
The best music from around the world.
Now, here comes the music.
Oh yeah, the sounds of Chloe and Halle. Ungodly Hour. So continuing, Lily, with the discussion we were having as regards to reparations and how Bristol have seen or acknowledged that the ancestors, us, should be entitled to getting reparations, and it has gone before Parliament.
Yeah.
Right, so obviously it's being debated, okay, and there's been appeals being made to get this going through. Yeah, so let's see how they go with that, really.
What I would find interesting would be to see how they work out how to distribute those reparations.
But we're talking only about Bristol at the moment, aren't we, as well? Maybe it might extend the borders of Bristol, but it might just be down to, at this initial time, just Bristol residents. What do you think?
Maybe, I don't know. I think, I don't know, we'll have to see.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
Yeah. So if they do main, the nicest thing about this really is because we've spoken about it for so long. I can go back as far as 10 years hearing people speaking about reparations, being on panels of people speaking about reparations and not getting anything positive back as regards reparations. We know this is breaking news. This is about a week old, this article, and it's gone through. So really, I think, history does matter. And it says they had a conference last Tuesday, I think, said that some cultural organisations feel they're being bullied by left-wing campaigns. Maybe that's as to not acknowledging it. Yeah. But they're quite happy, as it says there, to put in the museums and institutions all of the things that they got from colonialism and all the stuff that they've literally stolen.
But it's because they're not acknowledging that they're not acknowledging that they've stolen that from the country. They're talking about things that they actually most really don't even know what the real meaning of certain relics are. Oh yes, this is from, the Gold Coast, and this is what this means. And actually, do you really know what you're talking about? But they're not going to acknowledge the history behind it.
Yeah.
Or we stole this from an African country.
And it's funny, in doing this, I saw it was a couple, I really wish I'd written their names down, and it was a lady in Nigeria who's suing the British government. No, it's not the British government, sorry, it is Harvard University.
Wow.
Because they are using pictures of her ancestors. Yeah, they've got these big pictures up that it was a professor from Harvard University that went and photographed them.
Oh, wow.
And they're using the pictures in Harvard, but the family aren't getting any acknowledgement for it. However, Harvard are. So she's suing Harvard.
Good.
As regards to her ancestors. So in the sense of this, because it does go back to obviously reparations for the trade, but as well as all of the cultural heritage that goes behind it, all of the artifacts, everything that they have there, and stuff that we don't even see that are in the archives underneath these organisations, these institutions that they have. They're just collected there it's our cultural heritage.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I really am glad that this motion's been backed by councillors, and, you know, that it says here that African heritage groups need to help shape the plan. So they need our voices. So maybe we're not from Bristol. However, it might be coming to London soon. Who knows? But spread the word if you know anyone from Bristol that might not know about this motion that's been given to Parliament as regards to reparations. It's something that we've called out for such a long time. Thankfully, they're recognising it. It's amazing.
Seem to be recognising a lot lately.
They do. And you know, last week I was like, what is the sinister movement behind all of this niceness?
I don't think it's niceness, though.
But that's how I see it. That's how I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
But is it just a natural progression? Is it a progression? Is it acknowledgement? What do you think?
Partially, I think it's progression. Partially, I think it's painful acknowledgement for them. So I don't think they want to acknowledge how disgusting they've been over the years. But then I also feel like things like putting us in a category like BAME.
Yeah, that too.
Because I was discussing this today at work, and I said, in all fairness, to be fair, now I just feel like I tick a box.
Yeah.
Because you have to have someone like me present at certain things. Am I just there to tick a box because you need to fill your quota? Did that person get the job because they needed to tick a box, or because they're actually
good at what they
top
do?
scoring?
Well, we're always top scoring, regardless.
No, we're not always top scoring.
No?
I have to say this out loud.
Okay, sorry, she's taking it back from me, guys.
Some people that have come for... I've seen go for jobs and knew that they shouldn't... Not where I work now, but I knew that they shouldn't get the job.
Right.
Even though they are, you know, my brethren... I'm like, no, you shouldn't have got that job. I don't know. That was to tick a box.
Okay. But that's not fair. I think you're a bit harsh there.
No, I'm not harsh.
You saw that they just didn't have the right skills and...
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. But I still think we're very high achieving, regardless. But again, that is my opinion. Like we say, disclaimer on the show, we talk on matters of FUBU, for us, by us. However... Nothing set in stone, but we can see that there is movement there. We don't know the reasons behind it. We don't know the motives. We don't know the intentions. However, the ball has started rolling, and let's hope that it just has a far further reaching effect on others or on our community, as well as us answering that question. If we do get reparations, what will we do with the money?
Yeah.
Because that's really important. And let's hope that Nyambi isn't right, that it does end up
back in their pockets. Sadly, like we've spoken about on this show before, that in the community, when the pound is spent in the Jewish community, it stays there for, is it 28 days or 25 days? It was longer than 3 weeks.
Yeah. Whereas in our community, it doesn't even stay a week. And we need to really think about that. You know, Louis Vuitton and all these guys, they made their money again off our backs in some instances, and there's nothing wrong if that's what you want to do, but it's all about investing back within the community in order to elevate. And we've seen last week, talking about black business as well, how there are a lot of black businesses that are doing very, very well. So we've got to look at it like that. So maybe that's one thing that it could go into, is black business, again, to elevate the community in that way. Yeah, reinvestment. That's right. So in that being passed, that reparations, that motion's been passed, how do you feel about your digital identity? Do you know what digital identity is?
As in you being a number in some system somewhere. Yeah.
There are some countries that do have digital ID. I've seen it seems to work quite well, but it was Camilla and Gal that sent this. It was a thing from the government, gov.uk, as regards to the digital identity.
Yeah.
And how, obviously, what it is and how it will affect us as a people. Now, going through it, I think it's actually quite a good idea.
I feel like this is what our passport... Well, no, it's not, because our passport just shows where we've been, doesn't it?
But it still shows, it's still digital, isn't it? I mean, you don't have to queue up now. You can just go through all these turnstiles and that. So that is digital.
Yeah. But these ones, there's ones that have special credentials. They've got a unique ID number like in India, or a mobile ID like Finland or Estonia, or an e-ID card like in Germany, Italy and Spain or Portugal.
Yeah.
And it's basically your credentials on a chip. So it will identify things like we don't have social security number here, but maybe your national insurance number, your name, your place of birth, citizenship, biometrics. What's that?
I think that's to do with the health, isn't it?
Is it?
Like your health. You know, we don't even get to see our own health records.
Yeah, I think that's
stuff.
what. And do you know what? We are actually... So I got sent something from my GP the other day saying that they want me to join the NHS app or whatever. And they're supposed to put your like results and stuff in the system.
Yeah.
But you have to request your password and it can be denied. And I thought, well, what's the point of me being on this app then?
I think it's out of order that you can't know about yourself. And I think that's what this digital... Is it passport? Digital identity will do.
Yeah.
Because I saw a documentary, and in Estonia, that's how they get into buildings. That's how they do all this sort of stuff, and it's just one number that you know, and no one else can use that number. Nobody else can use it.
But then, okay, so here is me being the devil's advocate here. Why are people okay with this? But then you say to them, oh, there's a new vaccination coming out. They know they've put microchips in it. Why is that okay and that's not?
Because this is external from your body. It's not something internal. Unless they put it in your hand or something, you got to,
How do you know? I don't know.
Yeah, biometrics are the measurements of our physical behavioural characteristics and identification access. So,
but it carries all of your information on a little chip. And something digital. You
just have to know that number, because in Estonia someone else can put your number in, but they can't use it. It's all very controlled, so they can't. It's an easy way to help us prove who we are without need for physical documents.
But then how do we know as well, this is also devil's advocate, what if, for example, say like here we have DBS, so you've got to prove that you've not had any criminal convictions, blah, blah, blah. What if someone behind the scenes doesn't like you and they can like hack into your system and put all these fake documents in there?
But that's the thing, they can't hack into your system.
Hackers could do anything.
That's true. I know in Estonia it's meant to be quite solid. You just use your number, and that is personal to only you. No one else can go in, hack nothing, in that sense. So I think it's quite a good idea. What do you think out there, beautiful people? Give us a shout. 07895 134 713. That's 07895 134 713. And that's regards to having a digital identity. Do you think it's right? Do you think it's not right? We can actually go onto the government website. Yeah, we're going to post this into the chat room.
Yeah.
And this will, go in and see, because they want our feedback as to whether we want to have this or not.
I don't know if I like this.
No. And I mean, it is being piloted, like we said, in Estonia, Finland, Germany, Italy and Spain. No?
No. If we don't like the fact that they could have put a chip in our vaccination, why are we then going to want a chip that we carry around? I know we do that with our passport, but the passport tracks where you've been. It doesn't have all of your personal details on it. All of your personal details.
But this, I think it's okay. I've seen it. I've seen it in action. Why are you
I'm
shocked?
shocked that you think it's okay.
Do you know why? You've got to wait. Like, I had to wait for a good while during this last year to get a DBS check.
Right.
Okay. And as soon as I got that DBS, because you know, once you get DBS, if you sign up for 2 weeks,
You can register it, yeah.
You can register it on a tracking system. So if you get a job within the interim, or within that time, you pay £13 for the year. So if you get a job, you don't have to go through that whole process every single time.
But it depends on the type of DBS the person wants. Because if you've just done like a basic one, then you're still gonna have to pay to get a solid extended one done.
Well, I have an extended one. I have an extended enhanced, so it's well worth getting it done, right? Because it's there in the domain. So anyway, okay, right, she's applied for this job. Right, yep, everything's fine, and everything goes through a lot quicker.
But that's just like having your car insurance on the policing system.
Right.
It should be on there. I've still been pulled over by the police. Oh, we've been told you haven't got insurance. Well, I have though, because it's on your national system.
Yeah. But we've been through that one already. You know, the police, they're just incompetent half the time. So we saw how quick you get to become a police officer. We saw that. So that, putting that aside, you still know your documents are still up there online.
I can't believe you shocked me.
Your documents are still up online. Most of our documents nowadays are online.
Yeah.
So we do have a digital identity anyway, whether we like it or not. We still have a digital identity.
I agree. I do think we all got the identity, but.
See? So we're going to put this into the chat. All right, Lily's put that into the chat. So come and join us in the chat room and see what you think as regards to having a digital identity, and if you agree or disagree. It is just a means of having all of our documentation up online, and I just think it's just easy access, really. I think it's easy access.
It is easy access, but it's I don't know.
Not sure.
No.
Okay.
Like, I get funny about this stuff. Like, when I first got referred to IAPT, I was asked a question about my child's school and stuff like that, and I was very, that's a bit invasive. Why are you asking this information? And then didn't continue.
Right.
And I feel like that with these ID cards. I just feel like, it's a bit invasive. You just know everything about me without me even having to tell you anything.
Yeah, but it's you. No, you have to present it to them. They can't just type your name in and find out all of your information. It doesn't work like that.
So if I applied for a job, for example, they would put my ID number and all my information would come up.
But I think it's down to you to give them the ID number. And then that's...
Right,
give them permission to do that.
But if I'm giving them that permission, all my information comes up.
No, because it might work out to the point, this is why we've got to go on, and this is why we've got to go on and give them our feedback as to how we would want it to function. So say, now in the back office of your website, for instance, if you only want people to know certain things...
Yeah.
That's what you divulge.
Okay.
So I'm sure it would work in some way like that. Not everything about you is going to come up. Not everything will come up. Just what you divulge to them.
No one knows my business. Thank you.
Well,
no, I like it.
Well, it's
not at all.
We've got until Thursday to go in and give our feedback as regards to this digital passport.
Yeah.
So go in and check it out. It's on the gov.uk as regards to... I'm going to post that up as well in the chat. So come on, guys, come and join us in the chat.
We have got a comment, actually, in regards to what would we do with the reparations money. And John Ken said, blood money, should we take it under what conditions?
Wow.
It's an interesting comeback. It is blood money in a...
How is it blood money?
In a kind of... Well, it is. They're paying us back for all the evil that they done.
What are you talking about, Lily?
It's blood money.
You've got me lost.
Ken, could you call in and explain what you mean by that? Because I think I understand, but I don't know if Everybody gets it.
I'm afraid this thing has just decided to start updating, beautiful people.
Oh, wow.
So I can't access any of my jingles at the moment. So we're going to
7895. Wow. 07895.
give us a call now.
134713. That's 07895.
And we'll see y'all in 5.
Check it out, show. Hey yo. Check it out, show. Hey yo. Check it out, show. Hey yo. Check it out, show. Hey yo.
I need escape. Sometimes I feel like I need to get away. I don't know how much I can take. What more can I take? I need a way, What can I do?
In a trap, get trapped, feeling trapped. Need escape, that's a fact. Compass and a map. Maybe a fall for the bars, a hammer for the bricks. My mind's encased in this maybe I need to get a grip. Flipping out no trampoline. Trying to make ends meet with my tank up on empty. Even though I'm half full, I'm positive. The serious in my messages, so work out what the essence is. The truth, you don't question it. Go hard to be alone and depressed. Rather stay positive than sit and dwell on my stress. If I don't plan, I'm planning to fail. And that's life, but in the end it's your fault. So why you getting upset? You can but wipe your ass clean. You ask me, you give your work your energy, but yourself you neglect. Just over broke, pay your monthly, so it leaves you in debt. While the corrupt CEOs is taking a jet, but that's life.
Escape. Sometimes I feel like I need to get away. I don't know how much I can take. What more can I take? I need a way, What can I do?
Flying in planes, feeling tall like Empire State. Building empires while admiring every step that I take. Catching every dream that I chase. A smooth mother, shut your mouth, Negro. Best believe I ain't changed. Slicker than suits with the leather shoes and belt buckles. With the sharpest lines, believe the rhymes just might cut you. So hop to and get to step in. You ain't a tough you. I'm NFL built, so most you dudes I run through. Concentrating on knowledge, dollars and all of that. So once we get to snatching, you won't get your quarters back. Get it? I bet you jealous that you never thought of that. Moving forward with the force, so we ain't falling back. Waffles and raps all natural with the forethought that most of all I want. But yeah, we never called to chat. Handing out dope like your local corner man. So come and get a hit of this. Has the fucking correspondence.
Oh yeah, we have one half of the Black Lotus in the studio with us now. How you doing, John?
I'm not too bad. I was just playing some basketball.
Just playing basketball?
Well, virtual basketball.
Oh, virtual basketball. That's how you youngsters roll these days, right?
Yeah.
It has been actually 31 weeks since we had you all in the studio for the first time. You were our first guests on this show. Yeah. And wow, you have your new EP being released on Sunday, right?
Yeah, on the 14th of March, Mother's Day.
Okay. Why did you choose? Sorry, why did you choose to do it on the 14th?
I don't know. It was the start of spring, or like close to the start of spring.
Okay.
And that's kind of like the rise. That's when the sun comes. That's when people are out more. Like people aren't so enclosed or just thinking, yeah, let's just start it there.
Okay, awesome. So do you want to tell us a little bit about the album? And you've told us there the reason why you've called it The Rise of the Lotus. But do you want to give us a little bit more about who you are?
So starting with the project, it's literally taken us 4 years to finish and complete it. It started off as a few other projects, but it just culminated into The Rise of the Lotus, because you had the name Black Lotus, and it's like, what do we intend to do in this industry? So it was like, yeah, we intend to rise and bring our peoples with us. So that's kind of where the name came in. And then Marjack done some of the artwork, or my older brother. And from there, it's literally just been a struggle just trying to get out.
Okay. Why has it been a struggle?
Because rising is never easy.
That's
like,
very true.
After you've done a workout and then you lay down on the floor, what's the next thing you have to do is get up, and that's the hardest bit. So
is that because it's so painful?
Yeah, I guess
it can be painful.
It can be. So for us, it was just, it's not gonna be easy, but we're gonna rise through it.
Yeah, and that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So that song Ayo, that's your track. Is that the track that you're using to release the actual album itself?
Yeah, this is the track we're using to push.
Yeah.
But
and it highlights that I need escape. Is that the right word? Sometimes I feel like I need to get away.
Yeah.
I don't know how much I can take.
Yeah.
I need escape.
Yeah,
that's quite apt for this time, isn't it?
It really is. It really is.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Speaks volumes.
It does, especially for this time in coming out of the whole situation we've been in for the last year. We do need escape from our own homes. Oops, no, let's never think that. But, you know.
It's true.
Yeah. So we are running a competition, aren't we?
We are.
We're running a competition. So we're going to divulge a little bit more about the person we were talking about earlier. So it's a woman. She was an activist, a civil rights leader. She was born in 1822. And she has inspired countless people from every race and background. Okay, her skull was broken. And one day she saw her father and mother were told that they were to be given freedom once the master died. The master died, yet the new master did not want to sell them.
No, the father was freed.
Yes.
But the mother and children were also supposed to be freed when the slave master died. And the new master didn't want to acknowledge that.
See, it's disgusting. Going back to reparations, isn't it?
Yeah.
How do you feel about reparations?
How do I feel about reparations? I feel like we are owed a lot, but I feel like sometimes monetary gain isn't the only thing that we need. Of course we need money, we need infrastructure, but it's like if the foundation isn't strong, the house will crumble.
Yes.
So it's working on yourself first, and your community first, getting that established, and then when things come, you'll be able to direct it and make the most of it. And I don't feel like as a community we're in the best position right now.
Okay.
So there's a lot of growth to be done.
But growth is good, right?
It definitely is.
My friend gave me a little plant last year, and when I look at it, it's huge this year. I'm like, oh wow, to take a picture and show it to her today because it's just amazing. So let's listen to this track here, Africa. Do you want to hear this one? That's one of the next ones on the EP. No?
I'd say play number 5.
Number 5, and that's the only one I didn't put on there.
Oh. then you could,
I don't have it.
You could play Africa then.
Okay, yeah, because I just chose a few of those in there.
I don't know if that was recording.
Okay, and let's do it. Let's do this.
You don't even know yourself. You don't even know the pain that's been dealt to you. Born up in heaven, but we've got to use the hell. I guess we don't know ourselves. Oh well, only time will tell. Yeah. Only time will tell. Already living life in hell. Crime and cells leave me blinded like I see my life in braille. High as hell, fuck a job, I'd rather spend a life in jail. Looking for myself while I hustle in my clientele. I'm a king, just need the evidence. No reparations, slave master, where the severance. They be severing heads, I'm using fear as leverage. And when I find myself on fight back, then I'm a terrorist. Looking back, I'm far from the real me. Far from my true path, if I find it, they will kill me. Looking at my past and contemplating, is it still me? I died, but fuck it, in the end, I guess that we'll see. I'm a black man, a warrior from Africa. Mapping stars and galaxies, are mathematics accurate. Civilized, not savages, I wish we had a camera. I bet we cannibals and animals, that's out of character. You don't even know yourself. to it. What up in heaven, but we've got to use the help. I guess we don't know ourselves. Only time will tell. Yeah, I see my fate, too afraid to claim my place. Been awake, seen the fake, speed the hate towards my race. Call me Monkey King Kong, white nose and dick long. Slave and chases they come, been a king from day one. I ain't done you nothing, tell me why you hate me. Wanna incarcerate all my father's persecuting, slate me. Your frauds in jail for nothing. Clear that it's for our safety. Truth be told, you're trying to kill us. Are you jealous that you ain't weak?
Gotta tell us the truth. Yeah, gotta tell us the truth. Come to light, forth mankind, hidden darkness. I come to light. Anything darkness, I come to light. You know, darkness, I come to light. Yo, I say darkness, I come.
Okay, hello, Marjak.
Hello.
Hi, we have you on the line.
Hi, how you doing?
We're good. Are you playing the music in the background? We're playing Africa at the moment.
Yes, I can hear it.
Awesome, yeah. So try and come away from the radio.
Yes.
So that we don't get that delay. How are you?
I'm alright. Just so busy. Just been so busy.
I hear you.
You know how it goes, but just trying to keep afloat. But yeah, staying positive. Thanks.
Brilliant. So we just played that track there, Africa. Could you tell us a little bit about your inspiration behind that?
Well, it's just about knowing yourself, really. Because I think life is just a journey in getting to know yourself. So that's just saying that a lot of people nowadays, including myself sometimes, you don't really know who you are. You don't know what you're really capable of. And I think that's really important to find in your life. So yeah, that song kind of...
Yeah, just getting to know yourself. Yeah. So getting to know ourselves. I mean, it's quite a powerful EP when we're thinking about it, as to what the message is behind it. And we've had the one AO talking about we kind of put it towards coming out of the situation that we find ourselves in now, as well as. Now you're talking about the other one about knowing ourselves as well, having that self. I was doing something today, that self-awareness of ourselves as well, right?
Well, that's what Rise of the Lotus is all about. The Rise of the Lotus. Someone asked us. That's my biggest fan in the background. Yeah,
biggest fan.
If you try to get involved in the interview already, eh? But no, yeah, back to the so that's what Rise of the Lotus is about. So even if you look at the lotus flower and what it's about and the symbolism behind it, it's all about growth, really, and growth in hardship. And that's what right now we're in a really hard time. So just trying to help people grow through it through some music.
Totally. And John Nash was saying that you chose to put it out because of the spring and because of the sunrise, and it's rising. He spoke about rising being a hard thing, right? And how have you found this journey?
How have you found this journey?
Yeah.
Well, no journey is easy, especially the ones that are worth it. Sometimes to get to the most beautiful beaches, you have to go through the most crazy places. But when you get to that beach and sit down and look at the sunrise, you're like, yeah, that journey was worth it. So nothing in life that is worth it is easy. So Rise of the Lotus, it's definitely, when you listen to it, and hopefully everyone can listen to it. It's a beautiful thing. Like it just all comes together so naturally, and it wasn't forced. And I think that's good music.
That's right.
So,
because John Ash said it took 4 years for you to actually get to this point. So it's been quite a long journey, right?
Yeah. So we wasn't even Black Lotus when they started, and it was through a lot of different projects, and it all kind of intertwined, and this is what we ended up with. So Black Lotus was formed, coming on 4 years this year, and through there it was just about branding and doing things like that, and the album just came, the EP came through that, and the beats came a little bit after we began, because when we first started, it was a totally different type of project, but like I said, it just happened naturally, and this is what come of it, and I feel like it's a really beautiful thing.
Awesome. So we're going to play the next track, and that is, should we do Amen, John Ash? Yeah, we're going to play Amen. And let's have a listen to this, and you can tell us about the story behind this one as well, okay? We've got Black Lotus in the house, beautiful people. If you'd like to speak to them, 07895 134 713.
Can you hear me?
Marge?
There, God, I should I call your name? It's been a while, I'm glad we're talking again. See some mishap in the news, it will drive you insane. A lot of propaganda, people spreading their hate on your name, and take food off the plate of those whose only hope is seeing me gates. What a shame, when all you are is love. Gave us earth and the sky above, a chance to feel something simple like a hug. Dear God, you know I'm at odds, alone with a lot. Think about the pros and the cons. Like I just lost my job and I feel free as a dove. But what good is a dove if it's trapped in a box? I mean, I'm grateful for all the things that I got. A little bit of money and a phenomenal squad. But the block's always hot. Cops and gangbangers out here robbing for nothing. I ain't trying to get shot. So why everyone caught up in mortar or pieces of metal when not on a spiritual level? God, I promise I'll never settle for less. I'm forgetting to pray and remembering stress. Lord, help me, I can't do this all on my own. I need a sign, anything to show me where I should go. I know I'm meant for greatness, but it's tough to get out of the ends that I know. If you're there, just make yourself known.
Okay, so that's a very interesting one, John. What's the thinking behind that track there? What were you thinking when you created that track? It takes us back but brings us forward, right?
It was a crazy time. Like my brother was living in MPK at the time, and I'd be there like almost every other day, just working on music, just chilling, whatever. And as we were going through the process of creating this project, I don't know, it was a tune that just allowed us to kind of bare our souls.
Right. Like, so who is it? What is the track?
It's like I don't know, it's very poetic. It's like us just talking about stuff that we were going through, but doing it in a way where, I don't know, you could really feel it.
Okay.
Like, it wasn't just words. It wasn't just how I'm speaking now. It was more like...
It's the feeling.
Yeah, just poetic. It was very... Yeah.
So would you say a lot of feeling goes into your music? A lot of... Is it a bit of self-reflection, a bit of an escape?
100. Music is my therapy.
Yeah.
Like, I have gone to a therapist and stuff like that before, but it just never seemed to work. But every time I'm in the studio, every time I'm making a beat or mixing, it's like I'm able to just get everything that I have out like at that time. And it's like, I don't know, there's nothing like it. I could be as like angry as ever, just sit down, an hour, 2 hours later, I'm smiling.
Yeah.
Like, it's a good outlet.
We've said that music is actually therapy.
Definitely.
I recall I have a system that I use, it's called Soundbeam, and I work with young people with special educational needs.
Yeah.
And particularly cerebral palsy, and through movement they can create music.
Beautiful.
And some of the movements, the teachers have said, like, some of the movements that they've seen these children do and the way that they've expressed themselves, because they know personally that they're creating something, it just turns you into a totally different person.
Yeah.
And we see it. Music is most definitely
therapy.
It's a sanctuary.
No, it definitely is.
Right? who is it? Gary Bart's "Music is a Sanctuary, Music is My Life."
Music is my sanctuary. Music is. Oh,
yes, Lily. Yes. Oh, just saying hello to everyone there in the chat room, everyone on TuneIn, everyone on WhatsApp, everyone around the world. We have Black Lotus in the studio with us, one half of Black Lotus. And that is another question for the competition. How many members are there of Black Lotus? So we have 2 EPs to give away. One is in regards to the woman that we've been speaking about throughout the show. So if you're just joining us now, there's a specific lady that we're speaking about. It's her Earth Strong today, and she's obviously passed, but she was a great influencer. So that's who the first USB is going to. It's really great USBs. They're like little pianos, and we'll get those out to you.
Can I show them to our Instagram listeners?
Yes, you can
please?
show them to the Instagram listeners, although it's in here. And Black Lotus are asking, what was the question? Sorry again, John.
How many members are there in Black Lotus?
How many members are there in Black Lotus? Okay, so we're going to play one more track, and this one's called Tomorrow. All right, so let's get down with this one, right?
Rise of the Lotus. Rise of the Lotus. I said sunshine won't shine if you're not by my side. Yeah. I need you in my life, babe. I said ooh. Okay. I said sunshine won't shine if you're not by my side. Our love is our love. Don't that feel so right? That's why I need you right here by me tonight. So we can do like hot songs and kiss you under moonlight. I said you're a queen in my head, already anointed. In you I can never be disappointed. Without you all of this is pointless. Could you guide me and help me make positive choices? Beautiful with a sweet attitude, but sometimes bitter like poison. Plus you're a triple threat and I like it. Strong like a suffragette, only talk to you on a wife tick. Even when you're stressed, you never smoke cigarettes. Cause after all of the fighting, you know your man's good in bed. Baby, you should never stress. Close your eyes and forget I said all of that pain and sorrow. Cause I'll still be in love with you by tomorrow. All of that pain and sorrow. Cause I'll still be in love with you by tomorrow. Sunshine won't shine if you're not by my side. Our love is our love. Don't that feel so right? That's why I need you right here by me tonight. So we can do like hot songs and kiss you under moonlight. I said sunshine won't shine if you're not by my side. Our love is our love. Don't that feel so right? That's why I need you right here by me tonight. So we can do like hot songs and kiss you under moonlight. I said you caught my eye. Wow. From then it was real dinners and films, love notes on your B-day, home on weekend cooking you meals. Who knew? Not me, not me. Didn't think I was ready now for steady. Like a new me, knew we could make it truly. Just focus on progress. Even though stress can get on top, I see you're devoted and that's noticed. We just gotta stay focused and we both know this. Both grind for our future. I love when she go gets. I love when she's out on a grown flex. Supported the rise of the lotus. And I hope that my gratitude shown. You never feel out in the low, not out in the cold. Queen, don't know I'll give you that throne. You help me build more than a home. And home, my heart is forever regardless. When I met you, my life was just starting. And my life, you always be a heart. Sunshine won't shine if you're not by my side. Our love is our love. Don't that feel so right? That's why I need you right here by me tonight. So we can do like hot songs and kiss you under moonlight. I said sunshine won't shine if you're not by my side. Our love is our love. Don't that feel so right? That's why I need you right here by me tonight. So we can do like hot songs and kiss you under moonlight. I said
Okay, sounds of Black Lotus there by Tomorrow. And you can bag yourself. There's one more USB going because we have a winner. Lily, do you want to say who the winner is, please?
So the winner who answered the question, how many are there members of the Black Lotus group? And the prize goes to the Youth Plug, who answered correctly. There are 2 members of the Black Lotus group.
Well done, Youth Plug. Well done. So we have also another USB up for grabs. And like we said, we are speaking about a special woman tonight. Okay, she was born, what was her name? Araminta Ross. In 1822. She was a Civil War scout, spy, nurse, suffragette, civil rights activist. And she knew her desire would become apparent when she was 12 years old. Her father was a free man, but her and her mother's were to be freed. However, the new massa stated that he wasn't letting them free. And she had a desire for justice since she was 12 years old. Mm-hmm. All right, so 07895 134 713. Do you know who she is? We might give you one more clue very shortly because it's 7:28 on the 9th of March.
Yes, it
and
is.
Time is moving very swiftly along. So, John, where can we find Black Lotus? Because you have some more USBs to give away, right?
Definitely. We have 7 more USBs up for grab. So you can find us on our official page, blacklotus.official. That's on Instagram. On Twitter, you can find us at Black Lotus Group, Spotify, YouTube, same handle, Black Lotus Group, or just subscribe to our website, www.theblacklotusmusicgroup.com.
So how do we get hold of the other USBs? Because there's only 8 or 9 in existence, right?
At the moment, there are 8, but if someone wins your question, then
Yes.
there'll only be 7.
Okay, so there's only 7 more up for grabs, and these will become exclusive, very exclusive. Okay, so how do they win them on your site?
On our site. Well, I will be going live soon in like the next couple of days. So you can follow my own personal page at jlotus.group, where I'll be going live on Insta, doing some talks with the audience, and hopefully, if you're there, you can bag yourself one of these nice packaged and exclusive USBs.
Okay, so blacklotusgroup.com.
Yeah.
Okay, check out the blacklotusgroup.com. And thank you so much for coming into the studio tonight.
Anytime.
It's always a pleasure to have you. And we wish you every success with your new release on your EP on the 14th of March.
Yes, stay posted.
Hey, nice one. Well done, guys. Well done. So, yeah, Black Lotus in the studio. They're with us. Please give us 5 and we'll be back with you shortly.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
High time. Oh, yeah, that was a Ciara level up. We've all got to level up, right, Lily?
I love that song.
Yeah.
I love that song. The message behind it is so powerful.
Absolutely. We've got to level up. And as if with reparations, we've had quite a lot of feedback here because Pele highlights that if he got reparations, that he would invest it loads, land and property, maybe land in Africa, relocating for me, I think, as well.
Yeah.
That's what I would say, or having a haven as well. In places like Africa, because we're on one little island here, we never know how the situation is. When I look at that Meghan and Harry situation, I know she highlighted about the racism within the royal family and stuff, and it's not right, but it is what it is.
It is,
yeah.
And I think it's interesting that it's coming out now because obviously she is supposedly the first person of colour in the family, but we know that's not the case.
Yeah.
But it goes to show that they've completely written off their history. That's what it goes to show. They've completely written off their history. They don't want to accept and acknowledge what their heritage is. But I just love.
But they're
Harry.
a different family. They're a totally different family that was here before anyway.
Doesn't matter. That's part of the heritage.
But is it their heritage compared to the royal family that was here before? Charlotte and all those people.
Yeah, but that is part of their heritage, regardless of whether it's direct line.
Okay.
That is part of the monarchy's history. They have to accept it and acknowledge it, which they obviously aren't doing.
Well,
But whether it was a direct bloodline or, as we know, they aren't, they have to acknowledge and accept that is part of their history.
And as Joyce says, they pay up. Yes, it took us years to off the slave masters. Why should we have to pay again for our liberation? Pay off. We need everything the robbers took. However, we keep rising because we have love and forgiveness in our genes. But we got too much love and forgiveness, Joy. And we're always loving and forgiving. And that's how they got in the first place, because we were so kind and loving and giving.
Come and have our gold.
Yes, come and take it. And then that was the rest is history. But,
but I don't think we should stop being that way as a people.
No.
Because I found, it was in a conversation I was having with someone the other day, and I found that we have to water ourselves down quite a lot. And part of the way we are is being loving, giving. Sometimes we give people too much information and they go and take that information and go and better themselves and push you to the back. But sometimes you just can't help being that person. Because why should I be mean and spiteful because you're like that?
No. And again, it's going back to the behaviours. Again, it's going back to the person that we are. Characteristics, behaviours, they can always be changed.
Yeah.
However, you're so right. Like, why should we have to water ourselves down? I would like and love to be 100% myself. And sadly, during that time of being taken or whatever, we weren't allowed to be ourselves. We was under a regime of tyranny. Still under a regime of tyranny, but in a different kind of way. Beautiful people, remember we were talking about earlier, as regards to the digital passport as well, or the digital identity. Please go on before Thursday and go in and give your feedback. Okay, we have left a link in the chat box, so if you can, just tap into that. It's also on the Dove Got.
You said that twice.
Website. So it's all as regards to the digital identity and whether we want one or not. Go in and do a bit of research into it. We've spoken a little bit about it tonight. And just go in and give your feedback and your comments, because again, when it comes to the reparations, our voices were heard. They're heard now. Let's go in and support this movement and go in and speak as much as we possibly can as regards to this as well. Lily, are you going into the 10X?
I can.
Yeah.
So we did point number 1 last week, which was have a can-do attitude.
Yeah.
So point 2 today is believe that, in air quotes, I will figure it out. Always seems to be very apt for the day, doesn't it? So it says this outlook goes hand in hand with the can-do attitude. Again, it refers to the individual who is always looking to be responsible and solve a problem. Even if you're not sure how to do something, the best answer is, I will figure it out, not, I don't know.
Absolutely.
We say I don't know a lot. I've noticed that I say it a lot in this show, but in the sense that, when you spoke about getting reparations and reinvesting it, Nyambi made the point that it will just go back into their hands, which I do partially agree with. But what I think that we need to start learning to do and understand as a community is that when you invest in yourself, when you invest in your community, even though part of that money still does go back into their hands, because we said that the Jews keep money within their community for 28 days. That's not to say that it doesn't come out of their hand and go into the other people's community,
but
because
it
does.
It stays for that time so that they can build up their economy.
Right, but it inevitably is still going into their hands, right?
Yeah.
But our point is that we can keep that money, instead of it staying with us for a day or a week, keep it with us for the 3 weeks and then let them have a little bit of it.
Yeah.
But we have to be able to have that attitude that says, I don't know how we're going to do that, but we'll figure
work
it out.
That's right. We will figure it out. But it's having that opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
And we are given so many opportunities, but do we waste those?
Yeah.
Will we get the reparations and waste the money? And as Niambi said, it ends up right back into their pockets.
But I say don't wait for the reparations. Why are we waiting?
That's very true.
Why
very,
are we
very
waiting?
true.
We always speak about, they don't give us this and they don't give us that. Stop asking for handouts. If they haven't given it to you yet, they're not going to give it to you. You have to figure it out now.
Absolutely.
And
Very,
then
very
if
true.
and when that money comes, you knew what to do with the money you had previously, then we will work
Reinvest
it out how
That's
we will
right.
use the next batch. Do you
Yeah.
understand what I mean? So we
Yeah.
really have to start thinking, this whole last year to 18 months has shown us how other communities have managed to survive. People's shops have been closed down, people have lost businesses, but somehow you'll see the people that come back out unscathed.
Yeah,
There's a
well,
reason
look.
why that happens.
Yeah, because it's all about reinvesting and keeping each other afloat and looking after the majority.
Yeah.
And we can only do that by working together and not working. We work individually, work separately quite a bit,
Yeah.
but now just learning. And we managed it when the brothers came here in the 60s, things such as Partner, that kept you afloat. All the little ways that we work together, look at all the people that done those things and how far along they are, as opposed to just trying to do things on our own. So it's all about teamwork.
Yeah.
And working together to elevate, to level up. Like Ciara said, we've got to level up.
And when you are supporting that business, I find as well within our community, everything is too expensive. That's the tagline should be, they charge a bit much. But then you'll go and buy a brand that charge the same amount of money for an inferior product.
Yeah.
And I think we need to get over that as well. We need to say, it might be a bit on the expensive side, but that means that person's product is
quality.
premium, it's quality.
That's right.
Invest the money in your community.
Yeah. And it's not about us short handing people as well. If we are going to charge something, that we are going to give them the optimum and premium of whatever it is that we're doing as well. Yeah, because each one teach one, and brick by brick, okay, we grow bigger and better. And I think the motivation for today, it was not being bitter, but being better. All right, so let's be better at what we do as well.
Yes.
And if those reparations come, then like Lily says, we build on that.
Yeah.
We build on that. We were going to do a bit tonight on being anxious coming out of the lockdown, but I think we'll probably tackle that another time. But it's all about, we've spoken on reparations. Has anyone out there worked out who the lady is that we were speaking about tonight?
Should we give them the biggest clue?
Give them the biggest clue. Yes. What's she known for, Lily?
She was known for heading up the underground. Why are you looking at me like that?
Because that's a really big clue.
I told you, I said I'm going to give them the biggest clue.
I was going to say something else.
We got to give this, we got to make sure someone wins this EP.
Okay. All right then, Lily.
I've said the word underground now, so they're going to know what I'm talking about.
We're not talking about the London Underground either. That is the bigger clue, okay? Civil War scout, spy, nurse, suffragette, civil rights activist, and she didn't work on the London Underground. She worked on another one.
I love that.
She worked on another underground. So, guys, you got about 5 minutes to let us know. 07895 134 713. That's 07895 134 713. Or you can either tap in the chat or on WhatsApp. If you're on WhatsApp, just type it in there and we will let you know who's won. If not, we'll go over to another time and we'll use it for something else.
We've got a WhatsApp winner.
Oh, do we?
We've got a WhatsApp winner.
Okay.
Is he gonna call in though? Is he gonna ring the number? I'm looking at the phone because I know he knows the answer and he's won the EP.
Okay.
And
So we have 2 winners tonight.
we
then.
have got 2 winners tonight. We have.
Okay.
Let's have a look. Okay, we have. I want him to call in. I'm looking at the phone.
He's not calling in, Lily.
The winner is DiCarlo.
Ah, awesome.
The answer was Harriet Tubman.
Yes, you were right. And well done, Pele. You come in a very quick. After that, he just missed it.
Do you think, though, if we have a word with the EP givers, they might...
Yeah, we can see if we can get another one for you, Pele. Okay, we'll try and wang it, right? And you might get hold of that beautiful EP that is out on the 14th of this month. That is Sunday, as regards to Black Lotus, Rise of the Lotus. And yes, it's going to be awesome. Don't forget, you can catch them on their video. They've got music video out as well.
Yes, they have on YouTube.
On YouTube. So check them out. We really do thank you all for tuning in tonight. And yeah. Oh, the phone is
Everyone's
going.
winning now.
Yeah. Give us one moment. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm a winner. I've never ever won anything on the radio before. I'm so emotional. If you'd have checked your message, I sent you that message an hour ago.
Oh, really? I didn't see it. Sorry. You remember?
Sorry, I didn't send it. I remember I don't have the WhatsApp, so I was sending it via
he sent a text
my text message.
I don't
and it didn't go out. I sent it to Naturally Lily.
Naturally Lily got it, and you got there. So that's yours. All right.
Interesting show today, what you was actually talking about, as in, like, for instance, reparations.
Yeah.
I do have a little something on that. When you're talking about reparations, how can they distinguish in who they give it to? Because the numbers are so high, and what you've got to do is you've got to look at every Atlantic transfer that was done. You've got to try and trace the family, because anybody can come and say, "Oh, it was me."
I think they'd more do it as a community. They'd definitely do it more as a community. Yeah.
Still won't work, because remember, most people there was only a few people that was actually in Britain. The rest was always they came through Britain to Africa. Or, I mean, not to Africa, sorry, from Britain to the first place of trade was actually Barbados. It wasn't Jamaica, it was Barbados, and then they spread out to the rest of the lands of the Caribbean. Okay? And it was like what you actually kind of mentioned about certain things. It was the biggest thing that they wanted was sugar.
Yeah.
But
tobacco and everything else came later.
But don't forget the biggest
sugar was the biggest commodity that they needed, and then coffee.
That's what they needed, but the even bigger commodity was the slaves, and that's what we tend to forget, that they were an actual commodity. And here in this country here, that the ports that they came into, Liverpool, they came into Bristol was another one, into London, Canary Wharf. There's quite a few, and when you do the some of the tours as to where they went, but Manchester was a very rich place for the slave trade. And it started here, but there was not a transatlantic, as they say. They brought them here, then took them to the States. Were we aware of that as well?
Just a piece of information for you guys out there.
Yeah.
I know not everybody likes TV too much. They like, say, too live. Was it
television?
Television. Yeah, right. But to be honest, guys, look, the problem with us in today's society is that if you allow yourself to be brainwashed, you'll be brainwashed.
Yeah.
Okay, but it is so important to get as much information as possible. So a lot of people like, I don't need TV, I read books. Yes, but a lot of things books, TV, everything could be fabricated, okay? How many times are we talking about the Bible being fabricated and so on? So even down to those kind of things, there's so much speculation on everything that we do. But I would advise most of you guys watch TV. If you can get, I guarantee most of you do have a license. Yeah. So on BBC, look on BBC One. Okay, on BBC iPlayer. Now, if you go into BBC iPlayer and type in go into search and type in slavery.
Yeah.
There are so many programs on slavery. Trust me, that's how I could tell you about a lot of things. I mean, anything that new that comes out, Harriet Tubman and so on, I can always find the information. I know you've got to go in a minute, so I'm trying to talk as quickly as I can. But I'd advise you guys, go onto the BBC iPlayer, and there are a lot of things done by a lot of celebrities as well. There was a program the other day, not with the guy, I forgot his name, and he was talking about the ethnic side of COVID, how badly we're treated.
I saw
Even
that.
down to yesterday, a lot of people avoided ITV. Okay, because when you're talking about reparations, that's race, and you talk about race, and you mentioned Meghan Markle. Okay, even down to when her and her husband was on telly yesterday, I felt like I was going to bawl to a certain level because it was deep.
Wow,
and a lot of what people are like when it comes to that side, the royal family, what they're saying, what they're not realizing is, listen, somebody in the royal family said they mentioned the colour. How dark the child is going to be. He is the son of the prince. Okay, he is the grandson of the royal family. And how is he not going to get security? How is he not allowed security? And how is he not allowed the title?
1% rule, I guess. The 1% rule.
So that's one big. Lot of people going, well, they left London, and no. Harry is still a prince. He has had security from the day he was born.
But you know, his son is not a prince,
and he was taken away.
But he doesn't. I agree. I feel like as the fact that he is the son of a prince, he might not be a prince, but he also is in that lineage.
Why would he not be a prince though? That's my next question.
Because he's never going to be king. He's not in the line to be king, but he is still a royal.
No,
and then he should be.
But he is a prince.
Well,
he's not been given that title. They've not given him that title. They've not given him that title. But
listen,
again, that's where it shows.
Has the bloodline. All of them have the bloodline. Okay, he's just done something different. Okay, but when what's his name, Andrew goes and does something different. Yeah, I mean they just don't they take him away.
But that's again what you got to look at when we see these things. There's smoke screens for other things. So by them being on their case about it, then it takes away from what Andrew has done, and no one is talking about that. But everyone's talking about Meghan Markle when they don't move on and do their thing already.
What kind of bully she was. A lot of people have been surprised. But anyway, guys, love you.
Love you too.
And enjoy your show.
Yes.
Rest of your 7 minutes, and I'll still be listening.
Take care. Speak to you soon. Bye. Yes, Joy, he's still a prince, but that's all for another time, isn't it? That whole Meghan Markle, Prince Harry, is it Prince Harry?
Prince Harry's son,
and so forth. There's so much.
I think it's definitely a show that we should tackle, because I think, like I was saying earlier about their heritage and their history, he now becomes part of their history, and this will go down as 100 years ago this is how they treated His Highness, because inevitably it's going to come out in the end. Do you know what I mean? And in the difference between how Harry is, someone has said this and I will repeat it, he has been the husband to Meghan that his father wasn't to his mother.
Yes.
And that is what I think burns them the most, is the fact that he's not allowing them to disrespect his wife and by default disrespect his son.
Absolutely.
And it's definitely a show, if you guys agree with us, let us know, but I definitely think it's a show where we can open it up to the audience and have a discussion. But I have quite strong views on, I've been watching The Crown, so I have quite strong views on how I feel that the treatment Meghan has received, because I feel like, in all fair, the mirror, when you look at the mirror between her and Kate, she done things that Kate did and Kate was all flowers
Yes.
and beauty, and when she did it, it was dirty.
Yeah,
So I think
yeah. Oh, okay,
maybe for
guys.
next week, guys. Maybe for next week.
And please, 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 if there's anything that you'd like us to discuss or research and look into, you can always text us on WhatsApp. That's on 07895 134 713. Give us a text and we will be sure to cover it for you. But now, wow, it is the end of the show, and we would like to thank everyone for logging on. After me will be DJ Laro from 8 to 10, as well as Mark Philogene from 10 until 12. And please be check out the schedule. We have new DJs coming on all the time. We'd just like to welcome that DJ Christ-centric, who's on a Friday night, as well as DJ Slim and all of the other DJs. Great job last night, DJ Slim and DJ Mark, and Ninja Man Lloyd and Merv. You can catch on a Thursday along with John J.E. and Ninja Man Lloyd, as well as tomorrow we have Charlie Muir and Darnell the therapist. So please check out the schedule, and all we have left to say to you right now is we will see y'all on the other side.
Good
Take
night.
care.